Welcome back, my friends. Here we are again for another edition of our Home Sweet Home Wednesday series. Just some common tips and practices for those of you who might be interested in getting a new home or selling your home or working with a real estate agent, whatever the case might be as well. So today's session, we're going to talk about common mistakes that we make when buying a new home. My hope here is that you'll watch this video, you'll start considering some of the important points in it, and then when you are ready to buy your next home or sell your home, these are the topics that you're going to have in the back of your head to kind of help that process run a little bit smoother. So, are you ready to jump in? Jump? All right, let's do it. Okay, so number one, most important thing or common mistake that we see is not getting your team together early. Right? It is never too early to get your team together. In the previous video, I talked a good deal about the importance of interviewing several real estate agents and find that one that you've got good trust and good connection with. In addition, getting the lender taken care of as well. So you have that pre-approval or that full approval right off the bat. Now, let's go a little bit deeper into that. What I mean by that is start working with them right away. Start developing your plan of action. Start developing your budget of what is going to, what you're going to be available when you start looking at houses and making offerings. It is really, really important that you talk to your lender, you talk to your real estate agent about, hey, what is my budget? What is my line here? What do these numbers look like? What's my down payment going to be at this interest rate? And if I have this down payment, how does that affect it? What's my monthly mortgage payment going to look like? If I change this or change that, have all of that information laid out for you. Your lender is going to run it multiple times for you in whatever ways that you want. So don't be afraid to ask. Jump in there, ask those questions, get it ready to go. Another reason why this is so important is because it's going to help you in your negotiations later when you've made that offer to the seller of this great house that you want to buy. From the seller's point of view, from the seller's perspective, right? They're wanting to sell the house for, the price that they want to get for as quickly as possible. So if you come to them and you've made an offer, but you don't have the financial stuff worked out, you don't have all the details worked out, right? But another offer does have all of that stuff worked out, they're going to go with the other offer because it's easier for them. It's a smoother ride. It's a smoother road to closing for the house. So really, really important that you get that conversation all worked out. Work with experts you trust and that you feel are going to advocate for you and support you through that process. So important. All right, number two. Searching for homes or making an offer on a home that is at the top of your budget. So we just talked about creating that budget and that plan, but here's the other part of that, my friends. There is no such thing as a perfect house. You're going to make an offer on a great house that you're in love with, but there's going to be something that needs to be repaired on the house. So you're going to have some money set aside, right, to make those repairs. When you go look at those houses, you're going to have to consider things like, how old is the roof? How old is the water heater? How old is the HVAC heating and air conditioning systems and so forth? Those can be pretty big ticket items for you when you are first moved in and now you've used up all your money for down payment because you went to the top of your budget that was allowable to you. Your lender most likely is going to give you a budget that might be more than you really can afford on a monthly basis. If you've maxed that sucker out. So again, work with your lender, crunch those numbers, come up with that plan. The other part of this is when you are looking at houses, you want to have worked out already. What are the things of a house that you must have? These are requirements. There's no ifs and buts about it. It has to be 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom or whatever the case may be. It needs to have whatever amenities that you really want with it versus those things you would like to have. Because that's going to help you set the tone for where in my budget does that line up, right? If I'm getting everything, I love this house and it has everything I want, but it's at the top of my budget, life's going to change on you. Things are going to change. Priorities are going to change. There's going to be lots of those kinds of things that go on. So you want to be prepared for that. You'll also hear from time to time an agent or a lender use the phrase, marry the house and date the interest rate. What that basically means is, even though you're going to make this offer for this house, and maybe the interest rates are a little bit high right now, as they are. So look for the house that's within the price. Don't worry too much about the interest rate because, again, the concept is you can refinance later. And that's true. There's truth to that. You can refinance later, but don't make that a dependent part of your budget, right? You want to make sure that even if the interest rate was never to change, some obstacle comes up and it's not possible for you to refinance in a couple of years, okay? Talk to your lender about this, right? You still want to stay within a budget and a monthly income price range as well that's going to allow you to maintain if the worst case scenario happens and you can't change that interest rate. Again, it's a good concept. It's the right idea, but there's some considerations you're going to have to make for it. You're going to have some equity in that house in order to make that happen. So take that into consideration as you move forward. Third important point that I want to make with you guys as well is this: shopping sprees. Shopping sprees. I know. When I get into a new house, I envision everything that's going on and in each one of those rooms. Oh, I can make this, the living room with this new couch, but I need to buy a new couch, or this room needs a new bedroom, or my kid needs a crib, or whatever those things are. And you're excited, right? But don't make those purchases right now. From the time that you start working with your lender to the time that you are closing and you have the keys in your hand, do not make big purchases, do not make big life changes, job changes, all that kind of stuff. Wait until after the closing date. I've got the keys in the hand, I'm ready to move in, then make your purchases, right? The reason for that is those purchases impact your debt, right? And that debt to income ratio can be negatively affected if you bring on a whole bunch of more stuff, more furniture, more things like that, right before you close. It could impact your approval process. So you may be going along just great and everything's perfectly and approved, and then pow, you put on $10,000 in credit card debt to get a whole new bedroom set. Now you may potentially have a problem. So hold off on those things, make those lists out. It's okay. You can move in with what you got right now and then add on as you got. You're going to be in this house for a long, long time, and it's exciting. You want to make sure that you're engaging in this process from, yes, the excitement part of it, and I'm happy about it, but also I want to be logical about it. I want to be prepared for it. I want to do the best thing for my family. So do both those things as well. Balance that out. All right. So that is my Home Sweet Home Wednesday tip for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. Hey, if you got more ideas or things you want me to talk about, send them my way. Put them in the comments. Send me an email, whichever the case may be. I want to make sure that I'm addressing your concerns and your issues as we move forward in these discussions as well. Hey, have a wonderful day. I'm Michael Bothell, Realtor with Here For You. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.